Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for coming out. This is the 12th annual Bassmaster Classic, sponsored by Channel Rock. So, as everybody's aware, it was a really, really hot summer so far this year. We've had a lot of sunshine, not a lot of rain, and that's done something kind of unique to Conneaut Lake. It's made the water maybe a little bit more clear than normal, but it's also increased the depth of the thermocline. And a lot of you might not know, I may have mentioned the thermocline in years past, but what the thermocline is it's water stratification by temperature. And I don't know, has anybody ever swim in a pond? And you dive into a pond, in the first couple of feet it's nice and warm, and it gets a lot colder the further down you go. Well, that happens in Conneaut Lake every year. And most years the thermocline is between 14 and 17 feet deep. This year, it's down around 19, 20, even 21 feet. It's not an exact line. If you can almost imagine an underwater barrier that exists down there that separates the warm, oxygenated upper water from the lower, cooler, oxygen-depleted water. And why the thermocline is important to fishermen is that the bass and most fish cannot live below the thermocline because there's not enough dissolved oxygen in the water. So it really kind of makes it a little easier to locate the fish. You can pretty much take everything deeper than 21 feet of water and write it off on the lake right away. So what that does is it shrinks the size of the lake for these fishermen. Now some years when it's not quite as hot and sunny and there's more wind, the thermocline will actually come up to 14 to 17 feet. This year it got down a little bit deeper, and there's a few things that affect that. Like I said, the clearer water, the lack of wind, the lack of rain, and the temperature all increase the depth of the thermocline. So that's what we have going on there. Made it a little tougher for some of the guys, but some of the guys are still going to catch them. And I think it's kind of odd that, you know, we go around the boat during the day, and some of these guys that are telling us stories that they're struggling, and there's other guys that are catching them good. We have some guys that caught them really good on topwater baits in the morning, and we talked to other guys, and they're saying that they can't get bit on the topwater, or they're not biting the topwater. We have some guys that caught them on a jig, other guys that said they can't catch a fish on a jig. So the lake is really, it's doing everything and it's doing nothing at the same time. I mean, there's really no way to say that we got one thing that's really working or one thing that isn't working. Now, I don't know if anybody tried fishing down to 19 or 20 feet. Maybe we'll talk about that to some of these guys when they come up here. But when you are in the lake and on the surface water right now, and in fact, we're going to ask Eric. Eric, would you happen to know what the water temperature on the lake was today?
82.
Okay, so we have the surface of the lake at 82 degrees. And 6 feet down or 10 feet down, that's not the temperature of the lake. And in fact, I have a little cheat sheet in here somewhere. And I want to give you an example of with the thermocline, how you can actually find the thermocline. Now these guys find the thermocline with their graph. And if you tune your electronics in your boat, the sonar waves that go down to the water will actually be reflected back up to the surface, and there'll be a thin line across your screen which will detect where the thermocline is. You can also see it visually if you're a diver or if you have an underwater camera. Usually you'll see a wavy water, almost looks like boiling water, and it's actually a little more cloudy in a certain area than the rest of the water. But I also use a temperature probe, and you could put a temperature probe down into the water, and you can take your temperature readings as you go down and find out where the thermocline is. And I'm going to give you an example. I wrote down some temperatures here from a thermocline I found on Lake Wilhelm, which is just down the road. I don't have my information here on Conneaut, but this was in 2012. The surface temperature was 81.6 degrees, which is very close to the 82 that we have out here in Conneaut Lake right now. At 6 feet down, the water was still 80 degrees. Not much of a difference. At 8 feet down, it was 79.7. So you see, not much of anything changes. When you go from 8 to 10 feet, it's only 79.4. Still no change, or not much. At 12 feet, 78.7. Still not much of a change. 12 feet down, from the surface to 12 feet down in the lake, you've only had 3-degree temperature change. But when you go from 12 feet to 14 feet, it goes all the way down to 75 degrees. So you had 3.7 degree change in water temperature in 2 feet. So in the first 12 feet of the lake, you had only 3-degree temperature change, and in a matter of 2 feet, you had 3.7 degree. Now that marks the temperature gradient, or the change in temperature. And probably at some point just below 14 feet, the oxygen level would almost cease to exist in the lake, and that would be where your thermocline is. So you can look at it visually, you can look at it electronically, or you can use a temperature probe that you drop into the water to find the thermocline. So it's going to be interesting to see how deep some of these guys fished in some of these lakes. What I want to do is I want to review last year, because last year was kind of an exciting year. Mark Zaitis and Greg Wasco won last year with 19.5 pounds, which is right around the average winning weight. And Mark and Greg had fished the tournament for 10 years without winning. And last year, in their 11th try, they finally won. So it was kind of an exciting time for Mark and Greg to finally, after 10 years of not quite winning and a couple second place finishes, to win. And last year, our second place finisher was Nick Mueller with 17.72 pounds. Third place was Darren Eck and John Hilson. Darren Eck also had lunker that day, but Darren is not able to be here today with us. Ben Lipiak and Mike Smith came in fourth, and Robbie Genner came in fifth with 14.92 pounds. And lunker was 4.72 pounds. Now, it's really good to get an average. We know that the average is around 19 pounds to win this tournament, and it's fairly consistent, give or take a couple of pounds. When it comes to the lunker in this tournament, it is all over the board. We don't know what we could see. We could see a 3.5 pound lunker. We could see an 8 pound lunker. It's been all over the place. It's totally unpredictable, but it's always the wild card in this tournament. Now, I know a couple guys say they caught 4-pounders today. We're just going to have to wait and see how that all works out. Somebody may even have something a little bigger than that. But, you know, these guys are really poker players, and you know, they don't want to give up all their information, maybe how many fish they caught, how big their fish are, maybe how much weight they have, because they know that we go around talking to everybody out on the water, and if they tell us they have a limit that weighs 16 pounds, they don't want to motivate somebody else to try a little harder or maybe change their game plan to something else. So we never really know exactly what's going to happen until they bring them on the scales. We look up there the digital scale, and then we know what they have. So what they say and what they have may be two different things. But trust me, these guys do know what they have. They all say, oh, I don't know, I have maybe this or that. But they're just being a little bit of a poker player here. We have a lot of long-time winners here. They know how to play the game. They know how to fish. So it's going to make it kind of exciting. One of the biggest things that these guys, when they start their tournament day, you have two choices at the beginning of a tournament day. Number one, you can go and try to get your limit first, and then after you get your limit, you go try to hunt for some big fish and call up your limit. The other thing you can do is you can go and you can try to get your big fish first, because usually in the morning you have a little better bite. So you can go and try to get your big fish first, and then spend the rest of the day trying to get your limit. So there's guys that operate in two different ways, and I know as a fact that one of the guys that tried to get his big fish first got him the bite, but he didn't get him in the boat. And it's something I like to refer to as hookups to touches. How many times you set the hook on a fish until you touch it? You know, a lot of guys, they might get the bites, but they can't touch it. When you touch it, you're getting it in the boat, and it counts. So we know one guy that lost a couple of big ones early in the morning, and it may cost him this tournament. We also know another guy that did really good just getting his limit first thing in the morning kind of quickly, and then he spent the rest of the day trying to catch his bigger fish, and it worked out kind of good for him. So we'll have to see how that plays out. There's a lot of decisions that go into a tournament day. Smart decisions, bad decisions, and accidents. And I was going to tell you a little story that happened to me. I fished a tournament last week on Pymatuning Lake, and I've had a pretty good stretch the last couple of years fishing Pymatuning Lake. And the very first spot I stopped, my first or second cast, I catch a 1.5 pound smallmouth. Well, I usually average right around a 3-pound average on Pymatuning Lake. And I was like, I don't need this little fish, and I just tossed it back in the lake. That fish cost me about $200 because it was a really tough day, and it cost me 4 places in the tournament by throwing that fish back first thing in the morning. So that was a really dumb mistake, and it's amazing we're still learning our lessons after I've been doing this for 20-some years. In fact, it was 20 years and 29 days ago from today, 20 years, 29 days, that I actually won my very first tournament in my life, and I won it here at Conneaut Lake. So it always has a special place to me to be able to come to here and just have fun at this tournament and actually, see how these guys do. It's a very special place for me. It looks like we're getting our first guys actually starting to bring some fish into the scales. So we might want to try to get this going here. And I know that here we go. They're starting to go. Okay. We're going to get our girls here. Girls, you all ready to go? Okay, we're going to start off with boat number 24, Mark Hughes and John Pauley. Mark Hughes is a member of Bassmasters of Crawford County. He's been fishing this just about every year, if not every year, since it started. 6 fish, 2 smallmouth. Well, we have a very nice one. Mark, how deep did you fish for the smallmouth? 15 feet. 15 feet. 3.21. Okay, that's going to lead off as our lunker so far today. And again, like I've talked about lunker, it's all over the board on this lake. That's been close to lunker in some of these tournaments. I don't know if it'll hold out today, but you never know. I see a big one coming in the scales there. Okay.
9.21.
9.21 pounds. Good job. You're leading. Good job. Well, can you tell us a little something about your day?
Oh, it was tough. We only had we had a couple blow-ups on a frog. It didn't hook up, and these are the only bites we put in the boat.
Oh, well, that's a nice smallie. Good job. Thank you.
Oh, my partner.
I did. Okay, what boat number we got here?
14.
Boat number 14, Ron Kinsella and Blake Cresswell. Blake, you are what? Your membership was sponsored by John Kroll, Post 6773, correct? Yeah. Okay. And you have a limit?
Yeah, 8.
Okay, well, how did you fish today?
Drop shots, weed edges, pretty much.
Drop shots on the weed edge. So the weed edge is what, around 12 feet or so, 10, 12 feet?
Yeah, 12 to 18.
Okay, 12 to 18 feet. Well, that's kind of deep out there at 18. Okay, what do we have for a fish here? So,
8.
Ron Kinsella, Blake Cresswell, 8 largemouth, boat 14. £13.85. Rob Genner, our tournament director, called that. Good job there, Ron and Blake. Hey, I'm going to need you guys to come up here and sit in the hot seat when y'all come up here since you're leading the tournament. So put those fish down and get up here. What was that, 13? Boat number? 28. Boat number 28. Barry Burford and Paul McNulty. Paul's sponsorship is the Movies of Meadville. Okay. 2.44 on the lunker. Boat 28. Do we have a limit, guys? Okay. All largemouth. Okay. A lot of these guys spend a lot of time keeping their water cool, trying to keep these fish alive, keeping the aerators going to keep the water well oxygenated. 10.75 pounds. Not quite good enough, but good day. Thank you. You guys are allowed to look behind you at the scale if you want to see how it's going. Boat number 8, Ernie Pate and John Harrison. Okay, looks like we're gonna have a new lunker here. That's gonna go over. That's 4+. That's gonna be close to 5. Little thin in the belly. We'll call it 4.6. 4.56 pounds. Very well done, Ernie. Thank you. Did you get a limit, Ernie? Okay, tell me, how'd you catch them today?
Mostly on Sankos.
Okay, Senko, I don't know if most of you all probably know what a Senko is. It's pretty much just it's a shapeless, round, straight tail type of worm. You just cast all, you're just letting it sink out there on the weed edges?
Well, yeah, wacky rigging on the weed edges.
Wacky rigging is when you actually hook the worm not at the top, it in the middle, and it just kind of undulates in the water. Looks like we're going to have a new leader here. 13.94 pounds. Okay, you guys, Ernie, whoa. Ernie, you guys are going to, once you dump your fish, we're going to get a couple of pictures with that. Okay, we're at boat number 30. Mark Rose and Ron Burns. Ron, sponsorship was paid by Northwest REC. Mark Rose, in case some of you folks might not know, he is a sponsor up on Presque Bay and Lake Erie. He guides up, excuse me, he's a Lake Okeechobee also. He's a guide there, actually. So if you're ever looking for somebody to book a guide trip where they're visiting Florida in the winter, or, but, hey, I'm going to let you talk about it. Here we go.
All right. Yeah, we're sponsored up on Lake Erie and Okeechobee. We do a lot with down in Florida and stuff like that. Bassonline.com is what you want to look up, and then there's you can go peacock fishing, go largemouth fishing, go smallmouth fishing, whatever you want to do. But it was pretty fun out there today. We caught them all on top water, and you know, just a little tough when it got hot. So.
Hey, I want to ask you one other question. You had a famous sports celebrity about a month or 2 months ago. You mind telling the crowd who you fished with up there?
Up on Erie, we fished with anybody a big Steeler fan out there. We fished with Troy Polamalu. So Troy Polamalu and James Harrison. So anybody looking for a good guide trip, don't.
You have a Steeler fan right there.
Yep.
Okay, well, we got a guide here if you want to get up there. Oh, what do we got here? Which boat number?
All large.
All largemouth. All largemouth. 13.11 pounds. Your first time fishing? Not bad. Hey, thank you very much. Boat number 2, Jerry Hanna and Ed. I'm sorry, I'm going to mispronounce the last name. Lacasano from MFC. Okay. 5 largemouth.
Eight.
8.23 pounds. Oh, we have a threat to your lunker here, Ernie. And you know, we're going to have an interesting little story here. What boat number?
23.
Boat number 23. Vince Lashivo and Lon Wilson. And that's a fat one there. I don't think it's going to take you, Ernie. But hey, we got a good Lon. Lon, you want to tell us a little bit about the story here? I know there was a funny little story on the water. And Lon always 3.96 on lunker. And there's always a good little story that you have to tell, Lon. So why don't you tell us?
I wasn't really going to tell this story because I'm sure Vince will tell it to everybody. He was laying into that fish that you just saw, and I laid into like the biggest bluegill I've ever caught on Conneaut Lake. So he's trying not to yell at me to get the net. He's like, buddy, stop playing with your fish. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I'll get it off. Don't worry. He kept playing with the fish. He's like, dude, get over here. Stop playing with the bluegill. So I finally seen his rod bent down, and I threw the bluegill and the rod back down, and finally got it. So I thought he was kidding me about my bluegill when he just really needed my help.
All right. 14.37. All right, well, you guys, Vince, Lon, you're going to have to put your fish back, and I guess you guys need to get up on the hot seat. Okay, I tell you what. Before the ceremony started here in the weigh-in, we gave out a bunch of hats to people in the crowd. If you look in the tag, if you look at the tag inside the hat that you got for free here, there may be a number on that tag. That number is going to be important because it's going to make you eligible to win some prizes possibly.
Boat 3.
This is boat number 3. Randy Parker and Jay Parker. 7 fish, all largemouth. So we're going to do a test right now to make sure everybody's paying attention and looking in their hat. So, if you are hat number 23, because 23 is my favorite number and Vince's boat number is 23, come on up and get yourself a free prize. Okay, hat number 23 inside the tag. Look for number 23. Okay, this is boat number 3, Randy Parker, Jay Parker. Meadville Medical Center was their sponsor. 9.49 pounds. Wow, I see another big one in here too, coming up. Boat 18, 2 largemouth, Drew Shellhouse and Mike Robinson. 3 largemouth, excuse me. We are having some really nice sized fish come to the scales today. 3.40. It's not a thread on lunker, but it's a very nice fish. $7.13 pounds. Boat 15, we got 3 largemouth. Jim Mixkey and Mike Smith. Mike's from Channel Lock, and Jim is a previous winner here a couple years ago. So Jim, you had a first and a third here in the past. Today was a lot more difficult. What was it changed that made it so tough?
I don't know. We worked hard. We fished the weed edges just like everybody, I think, was doing, and saw guys catching fish around us. And some days you catch them, some days you don't.
Okay, I guess it was some days don't they. But still, thanks for coming out and supporting a good cause. 5.53 pounds.
Boat number 11.
Boat number 11. Steve Hughes, TJ Panino. TJ's from the Meadville Tribune. Steve's won this tournament twice, and actually he's placed in the money 6 times in 11 years previous to this that he's been in the tournament. How'd it go today, Steve?
Pretty rough. We struggled.
You got 8 though, right?
Yeah, we caught 8. I'd like another hour. They just started biting. Can I go back out?
You can, but it won't count. It might be fun, but it won't count. You know, this Conneaut Lake is a really great, afternoon bite lake. Everybody thinks you just got to be out on the lake in the morning or in the evening, but coming out at noon, 1 o'clock is a great time to be out here fishing. It really puts the fish in good position, makes them easier to catch. 11.67 pounds. That's about half your weight you had a couple years back. But hey, thanks for coming on, Steve. Have a good one. Thank you. Boat number 10, Nick Mueller and Ryan DeArmond. These guys, we tried looking for you guys all day, and we couldn't. Were you like hiding somewhere?
We were running all over the place, running and gunning.
We just couldn't find you. We looked up and down, and how did your day go, Ryan?
It was okay.
Good. You guys got 8 fish?
8 fish, 1 smallmouth.
8 fish, 1 smallmouth. Okay. You have one that's struggling there a little bit, yeah.
Hot day.
Yeah, it was a hot day. When you have these hot days like this and the sun is beating down on these decks of these live wells, sometimes it stresses the fish out a little bit.
We were icing them all day.
You were icing. You can just do what you can do. Okay, so right now the tournament director is going to make a call on that, whether it's alive or not. There'll be a penalty for a dead fish, and I believe we do a quarter-pound penalty for a dead fish. Pardon me? Okay, the tournament director just called one as not being alive, so there will be a little bit of a penalty with that. Wow, nice smallie there. It looks like everybody's catching at least one really good fish. Now,
There's a spook over like 25 foot of water.
really, he caught it on a topwater bait over 25 feet of water. Well, that's kind of exciting. 7 largemouth, 1 smallmouth. This might. This is going to be close. 14.37 is leading right now. Close, but not going to cut it. Remember, they're going to end up, which you're seeing on the scale, on the readout here, there is going to be a penalty on top of that, so that will probably drop you under 14, but...
Yeah, for that one,
yeah, he did a good job keeping 7 of them alive. There's no doubt about that. They just don't want to stand still in the basket. 13.96 pounds. Hey, Nick, thanks a lot. Nick works at Community Chevrolet, and he's one of our event sponsors here. And, of course, Ryan DeArmond from Channel Lock. Thank you, guys. Boat 25, Scott Welker and Jeff Solomon. Jeff's from Community Chevrolet, and Scott Welker is a 2-time champion at the Bass Classic. Hey there, little guy. What's your name?
Blake.
Blake? Blake. Hi, Blake. Who's this? Is this your grandpa?
I'm Papa.
You're Papa.
Yeah.
Okay, so, how'd your day?
That makes days like this a lot better.
You've won like a couple times.
We have.
And 4.10. Not today. What's different?
The lake's changing actually, and I'm a little frustrated with myself because tough days are usually my best days. So today was a real tough day. Should have been a good day for me, and just didn't get it put together. But great cause, great folks, beautiful day, and little grandkids, and that's what it's all about. Lots of kids running around today. So
awesome. Yes, it is absolutely. Hey, thanks a lot, Scott. Okay. Boat 29, Corey McClanahan and Jason Garon.
Close enough.
Okay. We said 4 largemouth? Okay. So obviously you didn't get a limit today. This was kind of a tough day, but what did you do today on the water?
Didn't catch fish.
You didn't catch fish. You caught some fish.
Yeah, we just had a plan that was working great for us Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the storm come in last night and just totally changed the bite. So
you spent a lot of time out here on the water then, huh?
Yeah. This week we did, yeah.
You did. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Right. Four. 6.18 pounds. Hey, well, thanks a lot, man. Hopefully we'll see you again next year.
Yep.
You guys are hanging in there.
Boat number 17.
Boat number 17, Duff Curl and Frank Nemeth. Okay, all largemouth. You have a limit, guys?
Yep.
Okay, a limit of 8 largemouth. Boat number 17. Duff's had a couple of good finishes here in the past. What is it looking like? Oh, Duff, how'd it go for you today?
Went pretty good. It was slow, but the flipping bite picked up in the afternoon, and we got a limit. They're small, but good cause. Thanks, you guys.
Yep. Let's see what it's going to be. We just had a fish jump out of the tank. 11.78 pounds. Okay. Thanks a lot, guys. Boat 26, Chris Kimmel and Josiah Heffler. Is that right? All right, got it. Hey, Josiah, I have a little something with. I just was looking on the Bassmasters of Crawford County website, and right now, is it true you're the points leader in the club? All right, hey, good job. Let me shake your hand there. He's leading the Bassmaster Club, Crawford County Club standings. I've never actually met you before, Paul Hirosky.
Nice to meet you.
How many years have you been in Bassmasters of Crawford County?
This is my second year.
Second year, and he's already leading the club. That's pretty dang good, beating all these veteran guys that's been doing this a lot longer. You guys have a limit?
Yep.
Okay, all largemouth? All largemouth. Okay, let's see. You got some good-looking ones here, too. Boy, you guys are just squeaking by here. It looks like you're still safe in the lead. Vince and Lon are still okay up there. $13.35 pounds. Good job, guys. That's going to keep you towards the top. Thank you. Good job. Yep. Yep. Okay, that's where we're on. Lucky number 13. Ralph Kimmel and Thomas Bills. 8 fish, 1 smallmouth. You have any good ones in there?
One. I mean, I don't know if it's enough. You never know the weight. I never know the weight.
Yes, he does.
I don't really have a real kicker.
Okay, let's see. Well, you know what? There's a lot of guys in that 13-pound range. It seems like there's a lot of guys catching that. We're going to have to see how that goes. And Vince and Lon here just keep hanging on, barely.
I ate dinner with him last.
I'm sorry. Okay, you got a limit. 7 largemouth, 1 smallmouth, boat number 13. And if anybody's been here before, they know boat 13 is the winningest boat number you can draw in this tournament. So there's no such thing as unlucky boat 13. Maybe not today. Good job keeping them going.
Yeah. Yeah, Stratus.
Okay, there's another interesting thing that tends to go on here in the tournament. Like you have a bunch of guys, some guys they want to weigh in early and get over. Did you call it, Robbie? 11.76 pounds. Okay. But some of these guys that do really good, they like to hold back in the crowd and we'll let a lot of these other guys go through. So I think we're still going to see some good bags coming up here. Boat number 5, Wade Adams and Emmett Murphy. Okay, and we have, I believe Wade told me earlier he had 5 fish for boat number 5. How many largemouth? All largemouth, okay. $6.67 pounds for boat number 5 of Wade Adams and Emmett Murphy. Okay, I think we're going to start seeing some other good bags coming here. Some of these guys that were hanging back in the crowds are going to start being a threat to Vince and Lon. Boat number 22. This is Rob Genter and Steve Venere. Okay, Steve's from Andover Bank, and we're going to weigh a big fish here. Robbie, do you have all largemouth? No, 1 smallmouth, okay.
298.
This is boat 22, Rob Ganner and Steve Venere, and they have a limit of bass here. Rob has been in the money quite a few times. He's one of these guys that seems to always cash checks in this tournament, but has yet to really break through and win it. I don't think this is going to be your year, Rob, though. And again, very lively fish. These guys spend a lot of time, effort, and energy in their tournament day trying to keep these fish as alive and healthy as possible so we could get them back into the lake. Well, this is going to be awkward, Rob. We need you to stay here. Okay, it looks like we're going to actually have a new leader. You want me to call for you? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to call for him. He's the tournament director. He's going to take the lead here. I'm going to call a 14.70, and we're going to call them the new leaders, Rob and Steve. Good job. Although we still need Rob's services. So we've got a new leaders here. So you got to get down there and sit in the hot seat. We're going to take the fish back, and he's going to sit in the hot seat here. That's right. Like I said, Rob, he's one of these guys that, there you go, he wants to get his time in the hot seat.
I got to sit in Buffalo one time.
Oh, did you really? Boat 7, Brian Weaver and Curtis Stedman. Curtis is from Community Chevrolet. We have two largemouth? Two largemouth, okay. Okay, one not alive. Right. One of the girls here from the United Way is a little upset by that. 2.79 pounds, okay. Okay. And we have boat number 6, Eric Marsh and Jerry Smith. Eric was one very lively fish, and Eric was one of the first teams when we were going around today, excuse me, to actually have a limit. So he had his limit early. So then it becomes a decision once you have your limit. Do you call for pounds or do you call for ounces? Sometimes you only need to call up 3.35 pounds as his lunker. Nice fish, Eric. So he had some decisions to make whether he was going to just swing for the fences or just, keep building up his weight a little bit at a time. He has a really solid bag, it looks like here, and we might have some new leaders coming in. Eric has fished this almost every year, maybe except for one, and he's another guy. He's been in the money, but he just can't quite break to the winner's circle. So, well, there's one more. See, Robbie's trying to protect his lead by only weighing 6 of Eric's fish. That's one way to guarantee to stay in the lead.
New leader, I can tell you that.
Okay, Rob's predicting a new leader. They're all largemouth. Steve, you're going to have a short stay on the hot seat. Wow. 18.23 pounds for Eric Marsh and Jerry Smith Jr. Hey, Eric, good job. We saw what you were doing, but you got to tell the people here exactly what you were doing out there today.
We fished shallow all day, just throwing Senkos and chigger craws, plastic crayfish, whatnot around docks and pontoon boats.
All right, well, get your fish put back in the lake and get onto the hot seat there. Although I just saw who's coming up, and this is last year's champion on the team of Boat 21, Mark Zaitis and Greg Wasco. And these guys had a 19.5 pound limit last year, and whew, they may
one smallmouth, one dead.
They might beat that. Okay, they have a limit, 1 smallmouth, 7 largemouth, but they do have 1 dead fish, which could be costly. And we're going to check and see. Oh, look at that. That could be a... Mark, do you get that one late?
No, I got that early.
Good job.
Actually, mid-morning. Mid-morning.
That makes the day a little easier when you got that swimming around. 4.35. It's not going to quite take lunker, but it's going to certainly be a nice anchor to the bag here. Okay, so you got a 1/4 pound. Now you have a runaway. Eric's going to step on it to make it too...
We had a runaway Wednesday night. Our fish jumped out of that boat.
So, Mark, what do you have? What's your breakdown here? Largemouth, smallmouth?
1 smallie, 7 largemouth.
1 smallmouth, 7 largemouth. This is going to be close. I don't know. That looks like that could be a 20. That looks like that could be a 20. No, 19. I've said it takes about a 19.06 pounds. I said it takes about 19 to win this. We got a new leaders, Mark Zidix and Greg Wasco. Good job, guys. Good job, Greg. You guys might be repeats. This is kind of interesting. Hey, congratulations there, Mark.
Oh, thank you.
Yep. Boat number 1, Ken Ramsey and Eugene Hostetler, 5 largemouth. It'll be interesting because we've only had, well, Mark, if they win, they'll be the 4th team that has been repeat champions. Myself has been a repeat champion, Scott Welker, Steve Hughes, and it would be Mark Zidis and Greg Wasco to be the repeat champions if their lead holds. There's only a few guys left here. I see some big fish in this bag coming up. Got some little ones mixed in there too. 8.47 pounds for the boat number 1, Ken Ramsey and Eugene Hostetler. All largemouth. Okay, and this is boat number 16, Ben Lippietz and Jim Galantis from the Meadville Tribune. Ooh, we got a nice one here. Will that beat 4.6? Ben, is it going to beat 4.6?
No.
He's a pessimist. I'm going to say 4.7. Oh, 4.1. That's a brand new lunker. Good job there. At least, and nothing else, you have lunker for the day. Okay. Ernie, I'm sorry that your lunker just got eclipsed. 0. Okay, what's the split on largemouth to smallmouth here, Ben?
I don't remember. I don't know. We got 2 or 3 smallmouth in there.
Robbie, what did we got? One smallmouth and 7 largemouth. $18.81 is leading after the dead fish penalty.
Because there's. $18.92 pounds, and that officially makes boat 16 with the lead. Oh, 19, no, there was a dead fish penalty. So Ben, with, what was the weight on there? 18.92 pounds, officially takes the lead because the team of Mark Zidis and Greg Wasco had a dead fish penalty, which may have just cost them the tournament. Is anybody else weighing in? That's kind of an interesting and dramatic end to the end of the tournament here. Wow. That's why I wanted.
So, okay, well, we're still going to tell you these results just to make sure it's accurate, but unofficially right now,
Was everybody interviewed?
Ben Lippietz at boat 16 with partner Jim Galantis is leading. The scales are still open for a few more minutes. Does anybody else need to weigh in? We're going to keep the scale open for just a few minutes. We're going to double check all our math and the weights here, and we're going to get back with you in a couple minutes. But right now, while they're all working on their math, we're going to go through the sponsor list once again, because again, it's important for us to thank our sponsors. And of course, we have to thank primarily Channel Lock for being the event sponsor, and John DeArmond. He let us use his pontoon boat this afternoon and this morning, and he took us around the lake so we could keep tabs on the fishermen. Thank you, John. Some of our largemouth sponsors: Meadville Forging, Meadville Tribune, Meadville Medical Center, Community Chevrolet, Palmero Toyota Incorporated. So thank you to our largemouth sponsors. Our lunch sponsor for this afternoon, and fishermen and co-anglers. There will be lunch afterwards. It will be served in the Iroquois Club, and we have Northwest REC to thank for that. Our smallmouth sponsors: Universal Well Services, Timax, Pipeline Systems Incorporated, Ernst Seeds, Erie Bank, Tamarack Packaging, Sportco Marketing,
Hagen Business Machines, Allegheny College, and Consumer Direct Sports. Consumer Direct Sports is down there in Grove City. If any of you don't know, Jerry Hannon was here somewhere. He actually fished the tournament. I don't think he weighed his fish. That's a real nice store he has down there. And hey guys, please, whenever you can, please support your sponsors. They help to support the events that we like and support our activities, so let's support them. Okay, we got a couple announcements here. We're going to do the final tallies are in, and we're going to get things straightened out. A couple announcements. First of all, to all the fishermen, you did get each team did get your pictures taken. There's copies of them that are available in the back here. If you want to get your picture, you could do that. The guys that win the plaques are going to have your pictures put into the plaque. I want to also state that for this year, the United Way made over $18,000 for this tournament. And overall, in the last 12 years, they're approaching $200,000 that they've made from this tournament. That's a pretty great deal right there. Now we're going to get on to the business at hand here. We're going to start off with 5th place and a total of $250 with 14.37 pounds. Team 23, Vince Lashivo and Lon Wilson. So again, if you are number 23 on your hat, and you already won once, come on up and get another gift bag, please. Number 23 on your hat. Okay, there you go. You get another bag. Congratulations. Okay, and teams in the top 5, we're going to also get one big group photo afterwards. So, Vince and Lon, make sure you stay put. And guys, we're going to do one big group photo afterwards. Okay, we ready for 4th place? 4th place with 14.70 pounds and $375 is Boat 22, Rob Genner and Steve Venere. Steve and Rob, come on up. Good job. And again, if you are hat number 22, come on up and get a free gift bag. Again, hat number 22. Okay, we got a winner here. Here you go. And I tell you what, come over to the table here. Any shirt you want to get off that table, you just pick that and that's yours. Okay, are we ready for 3rd place? And you know, honestly, I don't remember a tournament ever for the United Way tournament that we've had where we've had 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place so tight. These weights were really tight. And it stinks that somebody has to win, somebody comes in 3rd, but these 3 teams really put the smackdown on the lake, and they did a really, really good job. 3rd place with 18.23 pounds and $500 goes to the team of Eric Marsh and Jerry Smith Sr. Eric and Jerry, come on up. And again, if you are hat number 6, come on up and get yourself a prize, hat number 6. Okay, and we're ready for 2nd place. 2nd place was last year's winners of the United Way tournament, and this year, almost very heartbreakingly, a dead fish did cost them the win. The 2nd place with 18.81 pounds, $750 goes to boat number 21, Mark Zaitis and Greg Waska. Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Good job, congratulations. So again, if you're boat 21, hat number 21, hat number 21, all right, come on up. And I just noticed something kind of interesting. Boat 21, 22, and 23 were in the top 5 at the end of the day. That's kind of kind of unusual. And the winners, well, first, the winners for the tournament with 18.92 pounds, $1,250. Team 16 of Ben Lippius and Jim Galantis. And this is a repeat win for Ben. He won about 2012, 13. Very good job, guys. Congratulations. And they also, we might as well wrap up Lunker too. Ben also caught Lunker for the tournament for 4.71 pound largemouth for $310. So first in Lunker to boat number 16. And again, if you are hat number 16, come on up and get yourself a prize. So I really have to say that before the weigh-in, I knew that Mark had a really good bag, and I thought he was going to be the repeat winner. And as it turned out, we still did have a repeat winner, but it ended up being Ben. He kind of sandbagged us a little bit. He claimed he didn't have quite what he had. Waited till the end, and I get these guys they're kind of poker players. They never really let you know what they have in their hand till the end, and that's how it kind of played out here again today. Again, we got to thank Channel Lock for making this happen. If it wasn't for them, I don't think we could have this thing go off like it does. Thank you to the Iroquois Club for hosting us. Special thanks to John DeArmond for taking us out today. And thank you, everybody, for coming on out. And I guess it's a wrap here. And hopefully we'll have another good one next year. So thank you all, and have a good day.